fast-paced world. Everything is quick and impossible. In middle school, I was the photographer of my group, which meant that I stood there, took as many pictures of them as possible, in the same position as I could. Then we would sit in silence, only saying things like, "Oh, it's a good one," or "Oh my God, absolutely not," and then delete every single picture I just spent 20 minutes taking. This process seemed so normal to all my friends at the time, but I had always found it weird. I just never knew why. As a young and aspiring photographer, this really freaked me out, because this can't be what it's like to be a photographer, right? Film photography is the complete opposite of this. When you take a picture, it's burned into the negative. Pressing the button to open the lens is an unerasable action. This whole concept was so interesting to me when I first started seriously thinking about photography, because it's so permanent. In a world where everything is deleted and thrown away so fast without a second thought, if digital photography left me feeling confused, my first attempts at film photography left me stressed. There is no going back. You had to make sure that every single picture on that roll was a good one, because you can't just delete it. You had to live with the fact that you took a bad picture and then paid for said bad picture. Being a young artist in a world that is so disposable, it's hard not to doubt yourself. Every action you make, you can delete and it'll be gone forever. So you're constantly deleting and erasing and throwing away, but it just felt so awful doing that. Film photography is what conditions that in me. I used to carry around these little digital cameras, or these little disposable cameras, with me everywhere I went. And I never saw any of those pictures until a year later when I dropped all of them off together. Even though I found it stressful, I have come to understand why film photography is the right form of content for my work. Using film gave room for me to work with different techniques. I started doing print manipulations where I printed photos and physically cut and glued them together, a form of creating that is very difficult to undo. Something about the undoable action art intrigues me. I want to capture the idea without the option to erase it. My work is when attempting to capture the permanence of things we experience. Being a teenager is so unbelievably weird because you are so young, yet you feel so old. It's your first time having freedom and autonomy over yourself and what you do and what you like and who you surround yourself with. There are so many things you can do, yet you can't do anything at all. I'm not entirely sure when this will take me beyond adolescence, but I'm so excited to find out. All of this is attempting to capture life in small freeze-frame snapshots, capturing a small moment in a snapshot that'll forever be frozen in time in that picture. Even the small moments, the very mundane and unimportant things, when captured and blown up all day, can feel so special. I want to give these moments air to breathe. These small moments that you aren't really paying attention to are the ones that I find the most special. When you aren't really paying much attention to what you're doing or what you look like, people just exist. I love to capture these moments because it's the time people are the least conscious of how they're being perceived. And when you take something small and give it the breadth to be large, it can be so beautiful. Thank you for being a part of this very small mundane moment, a transition between youth and adulthood, beginning to leave one thing and entering another. Now, I'd ask for all of your attention, please. Your faces will help me make this small mundane moment permanent in